My name is Basil Burgess. I'm the instructor for the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club. I teach both the basic and the advanced courses, and I also am the club examiner, so I run exams both for people in the club and for people who contact me separately. As a volunteer examiner, I'm certified by Industry Canada, and my contact information is published so that people who aren't necessarily members of the club but want to become certified amateurs can have somebody to run them through the test, to make recommendations about how they can learn and how they can acquire and grow skills to become good amateurs. Our classes are held in the training room at the Canadian Red Cross, and our classes will vary. Basic classes will have as many as 12 or more people. An advanced class is usually 6 to 10, give or take. People will come and go as well in the classes. The courses from the point of view of digital circuits to digital modes. So, would you care to continue before or after taking the practice test?
Before.
Yeah, before. Okay, we're doing something?
So, put an hour in and then.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, good with that, Jim?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we're anymore. But traditionally, an oscilloscope is is based on a large, highly specialized vacuum tube, and it has an electron gun. In other words, just a source of focused electrons, and it sends them down in a beam. And if you were to look at that beam on us, and this is a phosphorescent screen, so when the beam hits it, you see a little dot on the phosphorescence. And if you turn the beam off, depending on how the screen, so I'll just bring this down to as low as I can. Let's see how low we can get. It's about 1.75 megahertz. And oh, okay. See if you can get the probe to just contact and then I'll adjust this now. We want, let's start, there we go. So, there's a sine wave coming out, and I'm sampling here, or I'm ohms and amps can be measured with an analog meter. The basics of this is called a moving galvanometer meter. A coil is balanced between the north and south poles of a magnet. When a current is applied to the coil, it will deflect because of the magnet. It will generate a magnetic field that deflects based on the source of the electrons, whether if they're going in one way, well, fine.
Needy children. No, I was asking whether he needed one.
I see.
I have an eraser, just not a pencil.
Let's see what I can dig out for you here. Anybody else need a pencil or pen?
I have a pencil.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay, fine. Okay, the very last page stapled in there is the answer sheet, which you can, it's just convenient to print it that way. and you can just sever that, and there we go. There is no time limit, gentlemen. We've allowed, got an hour here. You have a test of 50 questions, even at a minute each, which is quite a long time. We should be able to finish our business by the usual end of class. So, help yourself, go to town. If you make a change, if you're I've been an amateur, licensed amateur for 8 years now, since 2006. Prior to 2006, actually, when I was 10 years old, my father got me interested in radio, and we built an amateur receiver, a regenerative receiver, as a sort of father-son project. And while we kept our mutual interest, we never, neither one of us really made anything. In 2006, I had a curious event. I'm a professor at Sheridan College, and during a break in one of my classes, I was watching another professor show students a communications receiver. And a student asked a question, and me being what I am, I popped out the answer. I can't resist a question. I was, after a few of these, I was sort of amazed at how much I had retained over the years. So I did some investigation, found out that I could study on my own and use the test banks to study the knowledge I needed. Fortunately for me, I didn't need to learn a great deal of Morse code, and I set myself a project to achieve my basic and then my advanced in Morse code in a space of about 6 months. And I made it. I had the pleasure of meeting and being examined by Earl Laycock of Mississauga Amateur. And we got along very well. He invited me to come and help teach the basic course, and I've slowly since then taken on the teaching of both courses. And that's what I do now. That's how I got into amateur radio. My call sign is actually my father's initials, so that I have a bit of an homage to the man who introduced me to amateur radio. Other than teaching, I do mostly DX work and some contesting. I've actually won a couple of novice certificates in contesting, and I'm also a fair proponent of field day. I haven't missed a field day since I joined the club, shortly after I became certified.